Hello, hello. This is Pablo Arias with with International Relocation Partner, and this is the expat community. And with me, a dear friend of mine, Johnny Umaña. Umaña, we said this in Spanish, Umaña. We want to talk about something that is so important that we believe is important for people to know and understand. Costa Rica healthcare is not as perfect as a lot of people may picture that or may paint that to you. Johnny is an expert in healthcare, and I wanna talk to him about it, and I want you guys to understand what are the pitfalls, what are the downside of moving to Costa Rica and needing healthcare, not really knowing what to do. I think it's important. Johnny, please introduce yourself. Give us a little bit of background of who you are as an expert and what gives you credit to talk about this topic so people understand who you are. I know a lot of my friends, customers, and people that I do business with knows you already, but if anybody do not know who's Johnny Umania, I want them to get an idea of who are you. So who's Johnny? Hey, Johnny.
Johnny. Hey, Pablo. Thanks for having me. Well, Pablo, let me tell you a little bit about who I am. A lot of people know me as an expert in healthcare, but there's background behind that. I've been in healthcare for 20 years. Um, Here in Costa Rica and Mexico, I've been doing healthcare, medical tourism, however you want to call it, being a patient advocate for the past 6 years. What makes me an expert is that we are on the ground with the medical doctors, with experiences, with the surgeries, with knowing everything in or out of healthcare. And a lot of times that involves getting your hands dirty. So
Hmm.
we get our hands dirty out in the field, making sure that we know what's going on, but also to listening. We listen to the doctors, we listen to the patients, to their needs, and that's what makes it a little bit different. And a lot of times, you don't have to be a medical expert. You just have to learn how to listen sometimes to understand what they're going through, but also helping them on the way.
Okay, I understand. So, for how long have you been helping in this industry, servicing the community, of North Americans, Canadians, uh, to have tourist healthcare services in Costa Rica? For how long?
For 6 years now here in Costa Rica and Mexico, I've been in healthcare for 20 years, but on the IT side. I'm a network engineer by trade,
Hmm.
but I work with a lot of doctors, so have a lot of experience in that area.
Okay, I understand. And this is something that Costa Ricans we know. Like I know this. I've been living here 41 years old my entire life. I know how Costa Rican bureaucracy or some of the countries in Latin America could be, including Mexico, by the way. There is a lot of bureaucracy and there is a lot of things that people do not realize about healthcare. But when you go online and research for a country to move abroad, you end up in websites. I love these people anyway. Websites like International Living, and they give you all this, the index ranking of the best places for you to move and retire. Costa Rica is among the top five, including Panama, Mexico. But one of the strong points they talk about is healthcare. We talk about how good is the healthcare in Costa Rica, but me as a Costa Rican, I don't see that. Like I totally don't see it. I mean, uh, can you tell me more? Why do you feel there are things that need to be fixed in our
Well,
healthcare
we're
system?
not going to sugarcoat anything, Pablo. You're right. There's things that are broken, but if you go to the right people, the right professionals, so you don't experience that. And I'm going to give
Hmm.
you a really good example, Pablo. A lot of your viewers, expats that come to Costa Rica, they come with the misconception that I have everything worked out. You know what? I chose the right company, Pablo, to move me here. You got
Hmm.
everything else. But you know what? You didn't bring in the agile system that they come from. From being an American, I come from a system similar. But the problem is that when you look at a system and you come to Costa Rica, we're used to hurry up and wait. Here you go, get in line. Let's do this. The system's available to you. But what happens is that, and this is something that happens commonly, you come in for the first year, Pablo. What do you use for healthcare your first year? An expat can does not participate in the Caja the first year. They don't
Hmm.
have that access. What do they do? But Pablo, you got all their stuff from the U.S. and you brought it all here. They have all their toys, their cars, but they forgot about the healthcare. And it's something that's so important that a lot of people forget about. Oh, I'm just going to go to the doctor. But Pablo, what people don't understand, in Costa Rica is a beautiful country. While you are healthy, when you are not healthy, it could be a nightmare. And what a
Mm.
nightmare is that, Pablo, how many of your expats move to the beach?
Most, at least 70%.
You know that when you move to the beach in certain areas, you're not close to any healthcare facility within at least an hour, hour and a half.
Hmm.
If something serious happens in that area, the closest facility that's close to those beaches is about an hour and a half. They have urgent care clinics and stuff that can take care of you. But if something serious goes on, what do you do? Who do
Mm.
you turn to? It's and yes, the Caja system's around, but again, this is something that people don't know. The Caja system is divided into three sections: level one, level two, and level three. And you have to figure out what are you closest to? Level one, level two, level three. And if you're not part of the system, you're not close to any level. And that's one of the problems is that if you want to live in paradise, but you really have to take a look at, am I healthy enough to be far away from major health facilities?
Mm.
You can't be too far away. You have to be close enough. If you need to see the doctor chronically for chronic condition, you need to be in the facilities close enough. You need to get moved closer to the GAM. You cannot be in these remote rural areas that only have a certain amount of things. But there is help. I'm not going to put everything that it's hopeless. You just have to plan. You have to have some company like ourselves that pride ourselves in planning. This is where your disaster plan is. This is where you're going to go. This is your resources. This, in case this happens, this is who you call. This is what you're going to do. You cannot work on your gut feeling. Oh, I'm going to do this. You can't. It doesn't
Mm.
work that way. Pablo, how many times have you called 911 and the ambulance shows up in 3 minutes?
Well, I never called 911 in my life. I don't think so. But I don't think they're gonna show up in 3 minutes in Costa Rica.
No, no.
It takes me maybe 20, 30 minutes for me to get to the hospital. I'm in the Central Valley. Like I can, because of traffic and many other facts. It's not as easy as just calling and getting an ambulance right away.
No, you can't, Pablo. And a lot of times people don't plan for that. You have to plan for the worst, expect the best. And you know what? Come to paradise prepared. Come to paradise. You trust people that are experts in the area, whether it's me or somebody else. You have to make a plan, a disaster plan, if in fact you have it. And even if you're perfectly healthy, Pablo, and I'll tell you a quick story. Just last week, I was traveling. I came from Mexico. I landed. I had the worst flu in my life. Okay? Who's this guy here?
Michael, thank you, Michael
That,
from Proud
that's the
Costa.
buddy, man. That's the guy. You know what? If anybody knows Costa Rica, is this guy right here.
Good. Maybe we can get him on board on our next live. This is
Yeah,
going, by
yeah,
the way,
no,
Michael. It's going on Facebook, which is where I get. We have a lot of more traffic in Facebook, and then it's going also on YouTube and different places. Anyway, nice to have you, Michael.
Michael,
You
what
know,
up? Uh,
no,
so Pablo, let me tell you this: is that if we rely on, oh, I know everything I'm going to do, I know who I'm going to call, things break down in Costa Rica. And you live in the Central Valley that you can get to a medical facility in 20 minutes. Imagine somebody that's in Samara or in Tamarindo or in Portero that can only get to an urgent care clinic, but they're having a heart attack. They're an hour and a half away from a facility that can handle a situation like that.
I'm gonna bring something up. This is something, a rumor. Somebody just, well, not just a few months ago, I was talking to a friend. She's a doctor. She's a doctor in the area of Talamanca, Puerto Viejo de Limon. But before that, many years ago, before she got to have her degree and she become a doctor and all that, she said that at some point she got a job near Tamarindo, near Potrero, in Guanacaste. And she was telling me that there are some small clinics that are private clinics in these areas that are pretty much private services that are very expensive. And her job was to, if you get one little cut like this, get a little blood, like little tiny blood. Her job was to like take the patient, get it in one of their beds, and say, "No, you're about to lose your arm," so they can bill more to their insurance company, to the Blue Cross Blue Shield, and if she was able to call a helicopter, they will bill like $4,000 or $5,000 to the helicopter. Is that, how true is that? Do you know anything about it?
Well, we live it every day. Okay.
All right. Tell me more.
I will tell you this: is that these facilities that you're talking about, they do exist, and sadly, you know what? It's
They're
unethical.
taking advantage of people, ain't it?
Yes,
it's
it's
not taking
unethical.
advantage of people.
It's very unethical to take advantage of somebody, and especially in a situation of dire need. I believe that a doctor takes an oath to help the patient, not to destroy the patient. And I believe it's ambulance chasing. It's taking that patient to the next level. You know what? Sometimes it warrants, but yes, it's from Guanacaste to San Jose. It is true. They'll pay between $5,000 and $7,000 in a helicopter ride to get you to San Jose. Do you have that? You just have it laying around, and let's take them. No, if you can help somebody, help them right. Don't take advantage of people because in their dire need. You're right. It's true. It does happen. I've seen it happen. I've scolded doctors. Why are you doing this? You know what? You can make a perfectly good living being honest, but this also happens in the U.S. and other places too. They do take advantage of insurance companies and they bill them to the P. You shouldn't do that. But again, it's an ethical thing that you have to go within yourself to say, you know what, I don't want to be that person.
See, and that's, I was just asking that to make the point. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you go public or private with your healthcare. It's a matter of who looking for a reputable resource, getting to know, the right contacts. I think that's, that's the toughest thing when you are in a new country. You move into a new country, you don't know nobody. If you live, I don't know, in North Carolina, you live in Charlotte, you have your friends, your resources, your cousin, your brother, you got network of people that you can rely on, and you can ask, hey, what about, I need to check my eyes, what about this, what about that? And then you have some contacts and maybe some ideas or how to get a reputable service provider. But when you are abroad, you don't have that. On top of that, in Costa Rica or Latin America, some of our countries many companies don't even use reviews like Google reviews, or what is this other one very popular in the US? Google reviews or Yelp. That doesn't even exist down here. It exists maybe for hotels and restaurants, and that's it. Many service providers don't even use that. So it's very hard to pinpoint who is a good service provider, and that's you need to be careful, because when you are in an emergency, then you're screwed. You do have to take whatever you find. So that's the point we're trying to make. John is John Miller, friend of ours, one of our customers. El Pablo y el otro Johnny. Cool beans. Now, let me ask you, just to finish with this topic. I want to ask you, what can I do to save my ass? What can I do to save myself?
You know, Pablo, what you can do to save yourself is this: is that be honest with yourself in your health. And the way you can be honest with yourself, and it's whether you use a service we provide or somebody else, is start by getting a complete physical exam before you leave the US or
Hmm.
Canada. Try to get a complete exam. And what I mean by this is by not just full labs on what's going on, but a colonoscopy, a gastro, to understand what's happening on the inside. Know what your kidneys work, how everything is working inside your body. Because I can tell you that, hey, I'm healthy, Pablo, and you're gonna say, okay, you're healthy. But tell me something that it says it without me paying or saying something from the inside. No, get a physical exam before. Get here and start
Hmm.
establishing your health network, even if you're perfectly healthy.
Hmm.
Because today you're healthy, Pablo, tomorrow you may not be. You know, I have a couple that is part of our health network, and they've been here for 5 years. And you know that they're they came out here perfectly healthy, but they're getting into their age now that they need to start checking more often on what things are going on. And they're doing the health checks. Do them, check yourself before you're broken so you can prevent it. Preventative health care is the key to long life and having a quality of life. So prevent it. It's easier, less expensive to prevent something than to pay for it when it happens.
Amazing. So yeah, that's about it for this topic. There is not a perfect healthcare system. That's my personal opinion. Costa Rica may have a lot of amazing things. Yes, it's true. Maybe you have something you need to get yourself checked. Maybe check something in the states. Maybe get some medical assistance in the states, and that could be like $5,000 over there. And maybe in Costa Rica it's only $500. So yeah, there's a difference in cost that I think is relevant, but you still have to know what you're going. You still need to know your contacts. You still need to talk to an expert like Johnny. I'm gonna put his website on the screen, greenhealthcarecr.com, and he service people who are looking to move to Costa Rica with all of this. Maybe you're just want to visit Costa Rica for your dental care, or also Mexico. He also has a network of health service providers in Mexico. Thank you so much, Johnny. And I also want to share with everybody, this is what we're doing is the expat community. The expat community is a platform of free resources for expats, for newcomers or investors who are looking to move abroad. So if you want to learn more about living abroad in Costa Rica or Mexico or Panama, we are adding new articles every week. We are translating local news into English. We are giving free Spanish classes every week. If you want to connect on Wednesdays at 3:30 Costa Rica time, 4:30 Panama time, free classes. And we are also doing networking events. So we're looking to do a networking event as well, Johnny, in San Carlos. So the next one, it could be you, and the idea is to get to meet people. Let's get Michael Allen, let's get you, let's get everybody in town just to grab a beer, listen to live music, and that's what the expat community is all about, to connect people. We feel that if we get to meet people at the personal level, where you shake hands with somebody that is real, I think that's so useful, because most of the newcomers don't know many people around. They don't have a network of friends or contacts, and we can facilitate that by doing these networking meetups and events. And also, we have a book coming early 2024 about how to live abroad, how to live in Costa Rica. So that's coming for the expat community. And lastly, my name is Pablo Arias with International Relocation Partner. We are an international shipping company that help expats move abroad to Costa Rica, Panama, or other popular destinations across the globe. Thank you so much.
Peace. Pura vida. Thanks, Pablo.
You're welcome. I'll leave you with a little exit music.